Hello everyone and welcome to The Art of Teaching Art. I'm Mrs. Darby and today I'm going to show you how to create photo montages inspired by the artist James Rosenquist. Now James Rosenquist is one of my favourite artists and I just love how he combines lots of images together in his works, and I thought it would be a nice idea to explore this further with my own photographs, and this will help give some ideas to develop as part of a project. Now the actual theme of the project is still life, so at this point in the project a mind map will have already been done and potentially the students will have taken a selection of their own photographs based on the theme that they would want to follow. So I've got a range of photographs here which I will show you in more detail in another video. So there are 4 different techniques that I'm going to show you to explore the work, and this is a really nice idea for a GCSE project because it helps you to really engage with the artist's work, think about the composition of your own images, and this will link into AO1, Assessment Objective 1, which is looking at artists engaging with artists' work. Also experimenting, you're experimenting with different techniques and different images, so that links into AO2. And then AO3, actually recording your ideas, so taking your photographs and developing those ideas forward as well. So the first technique I call the Zigzag Technique. Now the image that this links to are these type of images here. So you've got the faces with these sharp zigzag, sharp shapes coming in onto the flowery background. And you have the same here as well with the face shapes coming into the flower background and in this piece as well. So very much combining the flower shapes with the faces in this case. Now, in my examples here, I have taken pictures linking to the song My Favourite Things, so of ribbons and flowers in this case, and I've combined the pictures using zigzag shapes, trying to think about contrasting colours, trying to think about composition, and using up all of the parts that I've got. Here are some more examples as well. So it's quite nice to develop your ideas doing this. It also gives you something really concrete to draw from rather than just kind of putting ideas together from multiple photographs. You've then got an image that you can work with and experiment more with, which is great in terms of developing your ideas for GCSE. So in terms of putting this technique together is super simple. What you will need is a pencil, probably a craft knife, a ruler, and a selection of images as well. So the first step for this is for you to select an image. You need to draw your zigzag shapes on the back. So you're thinking of long, thin zigzag shapes to link back to James Rosenquist's work. So first of all, I'm drawing the lines either side of the zigzag area and then using the ruler to draw very sharp, thin zigzag lines. And then I'm just going to use the knife to cut them out. So I'm just putting my finger on the end of the tip of the paper so it doesn't rip. If you're using a sharp knife, this shouldn't be a problem, but my knife wasn't very sharp. And then I'm just pulling apart the bit that I've cut so I have separate pieces. And I'm just going to bring in a block image. So I'm placing the different images on top of that to decide what works best for composition. So you're exploring different ways of composing and using the different smaller shapes to add on top as well. So what you would then do is just stick any of those down the way. We're now moving on to the next technique. Now this is one that I call the Wavy Technique. So the part of this is to cut wavy lines or circular lines out of one photograph and place them onto another. And the works that this link to are these pieces where you've got this kind of circular spiky shape cut out and layered on. And the piece like this as well, where you've got this kind of monochrome with blue and white piece with these wavy lines coming across. So these lines are quite fine, they're quite an interesting shape, and what I did actually is create a template. So inspired by these lines, I created templates for both shapes, which you can draw around onto the back of your photo, or you can draw it freehand, it's up to you. So with these, again, you're looking to combine contrasting photographs, thinking about contrasting colours and tones. So I will just show you how to do it. So first of all, I'm drawing the wavy lines on the back, just making sure that they're nice and neat and come to a point. Then I'm just using a pair of scissors to cut round the lines, and when you've cut them all out you will have the separate pieces, and you can use all of that to create your montages. So just explore placing them on top of different pictures to find your finished composition. So the next technique is actually dividing an image into 3 sections. Now there's a few occasions where James Rosenquist divides an image, but this is the main piece where you've got the picture of the car, the female's face, and then the spaghetti at the bottom. And it is interesting to also play about with colour in this when you're kind of working from it later on. So what you need is a selection of photographs. You want to think carefully about the level of detail in the photographs and how that's going to work together. And actually what I did on this page is I had 4 or 5 photographs. I cut them all up and then rearranged them together. So you're thinking about lines that connect together, how things look all together, and how that's going to be when you draw it as well. By far the favourite on this page is this one for me, because I really like how you've got the close-up detail of the string and then the flow of the lines with the ribbon and the screwed up paper ball. You can also develop this technique so you've got horizontal and vertical lines as well as diagonal lines. So there's a lot of different things you can develop with this kind of technique. So in terms of how you do it, this one is the easiest, I would say, of all of the techniques. You just need to divide your paper into 3. So first I'm just measuring the piece of paper and then dividing it into 3. So I can mark that and draw the lines with a ruler. Then I'm just using my scissors to cut it into strips, and I've pulled all the other strips that I've got left over, and I can use these and experiment with them in different compositions. So just making sure they're the same length and just exploring with different lines and how they go together. So the final technique is actually montaging multiple images together by cutting out individual objects and collaging them together. And actually a significant amount of James Rosenquist's work features images like this. So you've got pictures of people with hands and cake and vehicles. You've got drill bits and windows and spaghetti on pegs. You've got a car with apricots and a pencil, and things all combined together. So the idea is to have a selection of images that can be combined together. And I explored a different format in this, so these are lot larger pieces. So I was thinking about different photographs that worked well together. So the idea of this was 2 spirals kind of that met either side with something to place in the middle, this paper bag. So, and again here, you're thinking about composition. Where can things go? Using your intuition to layer images in, and you could also try them in A5 format as well. So you want some more detailed images and some images that you can cut out. So just bear that in mind when you're taking some photographs ready for this activity. So this is fairly simple. I've actually cut out a range of different things first of all, and then you just want a background image that will work well for that. So you want something with a bit more of a texture to it, potentially like this. So I might choose to place those 2 photographs together. I can then work with the other images and just layer them on top. So it's all about playing here. It's all about exploring your different ideas. Quite like the idea of the string being over there and the string being there as well. So think about how you can have things coming in, how things can be placed in the middle. Do you just want textures in the background and then the flowers coming in? They could be placed along. You know, there's loads of different ideas that you can explore with this, but it's just down to you and your photograph. So I hope that provided you with a little bit of inspiration of what you can do with photographs to help you develop ideas for a GCSE project. Thank you so much for watching and have a really great day.